In today's video, we are downtown Hong Kong and our destination is the renowned Kai Tak Airport. To get there, we'll be using the infamous Checkerboard, also known as the Kai Tak Heart Attack Approach. On the way, we'll be flying over this amazing area of Hong Kong in a Cessna Skyhawk using Microsoft Flight Simulator in full 4K. There are amazing sights along the way, so stay with me to the end. This is the Checkerboard Approach plan for Kai Tak. Kai Tak was closed in July 1998 due to several safety and operational challenges. It has been kept in this simulation due to its interesting approach. We will start by leaving the holding pattern, which is southwest of the airport, by setting a course of 270 degrees to head for Lantau. We will be overflying the small island of Chung Chau. At Waypoint Gulf, we will turn right and head for the non-directional beacon to the north of the island. From there we will plan to intercept the instrument landing system, which will guide us to a few miles off the runway. Once we see the hill with the red and white checkered boards on it, we will make a 47-degree right turn to line up and land on the runway. We are within the holding pattern above Lama at the specified 6,000 feet. We're going to leave the pattern by setting a course of 270 degrees on the heading bug. We will then engage the autopilot and select the heading option on the panel. The autopilot will then direct the plane to the course selected by the heading bug. The landing approach card has us flying over the power station, so we will wait before engaging the autopilot. Keeping an eye out to our left, okay, let's turn. We will hit the autopilot and the heading button. The Skyhawk swings to the left onto the new heading and we get a good view of Lama Island and its power station. The power station is coal, oil and gas powered and also has a solar farm. It supplies this island and Hong Kong, providing 3,617 megawatts of energy. We could set the aircraft up for the rest of the approach. We have lost a little height in the turn, so I use the autopilot altitude function, setting it to 6,000 and the vertical speed to achieve it. And you can see the altitude increasing. Next, the frequency of the non-directional beacon at Lantau is 268, which we got from the chart, so this is set and then transferred to live. The auto direction finding needle then swings to point in the direction of the beacon. Now for the ILS approach setup. The frequency of the ILS approach is 111.9, so this is set up in the VOR localizer section of the Garmin 530, and we then transfer this to live. We won't be using this until closer to the final approach, but you can see a reaction in the two bars immediately. We have the majority of the approach setup complete. Below us is Chung Chau Island, which as you can see is dumbbell shaped, with a literal meaning of Long Island. It is usually busy with fishing boats and seafood restaurants. It is a favourite for those wanting to get away from the hustle and bustle of the big city of Hong Kong, with its hiking trails and sandy beaches. Coming up is Lantau Island. Lantau is the largest island in Hong Kong. It's known for its scenic beauty with lush mountains, beaches and hiking trails. It's home to popular attractions like Hong Kong Disneyland, 360 cable car, and the Tian Tan Buddha or Big Buddha. Lantau offers a mix of modern amenities and natural landscapes, making it a popular destination for both tourists and locals. Coming up on Point Gulf, and the approach plan has us to turn north towards Checklab, just past the high ground on our right. We have north dialed into the heading bug. The autopilot is on heading mode, so we'll follow the heading bug direction. So the Skyhawk turns north. We're also following the pointer for the non-directional beacon we set up earlier. We are preparing to intercept the localizer and glide slope to direct us into the runway for landing. We are currently on a northerly course over Lantau Island and approaching the new airport for Hong Kong. Far to our right is the old Kai Tak airport, which we'll be landing at, and the city of Hong Kong itself. Creating the new airport here is an amazing engineering achievement, but it does have its challenges. As it was built on reclaimed land, it is subject to some degree of land subsidence, which requires continual monitoring and adjustment. We're high for the glide slope. The horizontal needle is slightly below the centre circle, so we will reduce our height to 5,500 feet. We will use the altitude and vertical speed functions again on the autopilot to do this. As you can see, our altitude is reducing and the horizontal bar is now moving towards the circle. The horizontal needle is now over the circle, so we are good. We are continuing to fly north and hopefully we'll intercept the localizer beam from our right side. The horizontal needle is now over the centre circle, so our height is correct for that portion of the ILS intercept. We are continuing to fly north and hopefully we'll intercept the localizer beam for direction from our right side. Some patience is required here. Once we have picked up the beams from the ILS, the direction height will be controlled by the autopilot to take us right into Checkerboard Hill. Okay, excellent. The APR and GS values are set in the autopilot. We have engaged the localizer for direction and the glide slope for height, and the Skyhawk automatically turns onto the new course. You can also see the vertical needle now moving as the aircraft follows the beam from the ILS. Both needles are now in the centre circle. We are now fixed onto the ILS approach into Kai Tak Airport. Once we are below 1,000 feet, we will disengage the autopilot and fly the final approach by hand. The ILS will not take us directly onto the runway. At the infamous Checkerboard Hill, we will make a turn onto the runway heading. We have a good view of the replacement to Kai-Tak, Cheklapkok Airport. Cheklap is a small island located in the western waters of Hong Kong. It is renowned for being the site of the new Hong Kong International Airport, one of the busiest and most important airports in the world. It covers an area of approximately 3.5 square kilometres and is connected to Lantau Island by a series of roadways and bridges. It was chosen as the site for Hong Kong International Airport in the 1990s. The airport was officially opened in 1998 and has since become a major international transportation hub serving millions of passengers annually. The construction of the airport and associated infrastructure led to significant changes in the local environment. Large-scale land reclamation was undertaken to expand the island to accommodate the airport facilities. While the airport has improved Hong Kong's connectivity and economy, environmental concerns have also been raised, particularly regarding the impact on local ecosystems and marine life. As we continue down the glide path, letting the autopilot do the hard work, we can see Discovery Bay, Hong Kong on our right. Discovery Bay is a unique residential development located on Lantau Island. It was designed to provide a more relaxed and Western-style living experience compared to the urban hustle of central Hong Kong. It's car-free and has a range of amenities including a marina, golf course, country club, beaches and hiking trails, making it a self-contained community. It's a popular choice for expatriates and international residents due to its tranquil setting, spacious homes and proximity to international schools. It is close to Disneyland Hong Kong and some of the other attractions we have just seen. Hong Kong Disneyland, as we can see here, is situated at the end of the island. It's part of the larger Disney Resort complex. The park has the usual features of Main Street, USA, Fantasyland, Adventureland, Tomorrowland and Grizzly Gulch. It has the usual Disney activities such as character meet and greets alongside a wide range of attractions, entertainment shows and parades. The park also has iconic features like Sleeping Beauty Castle. Hong Kong Disneyland provides a fusion of Disney magic and local culture, making it a popular destination for families and Disney enthusiasts from around the world. As we leave Disney, we can see some of the impressive infrastructure of roads and bridges which connect Hong Kong to Cheklap. We are now approaching the island of Tin Yi. It is a mixture of residential, industrial and commercial areas. The residential areas provide homes for a diverse population, including local residents and expatriates. It is well connected to the rest of Hong Kong by the road and rail bridges. Tin Yi is famous for its promenade, offering picturesque views of the surrounding waters, bridges and skyline. It's a popular spot for leisurely walks, jogging and enjoying the scenery. Saying that, the part we are flying over is its industrial zones and warehousing that contribute to Hong Kong's economy. These areas house manufacturing and logistic operations. In the 25 odd years since the old Kai-Tak airport has closed, Hong Kong's economy has shifted from being primarily manufacturing based in the 20th century to a strong emphasis on services. The services sector, particularly financial services, has become the backbone of the economy. We are approaching the beautifully named Stonecutters Bridge. The bridge joins Tin Yi Island and Stonecutters Island. Stonecutters Island has a few interesting facilities for the Hong Kong Police, the Hong Kong Marine Police and a container terminal. It also has a sewage works which handles the majority of Hong Kong's waste water. The Skyhawk's autopilot, interacting with the ILS, controls direction and height, but has no auto throttle facility. We are directly over the huge Costco-hit container terminal. We're getting close to Hong Kong itself, and you can see one of the most impressive skylines in the world. It has 1,500 skyscrapers packed into a limited space. There's a population of approximately 7.5 million people living in Hong Kong in an area of 427 square miles. It is roughly equivalent in population space to New York. Vertical living in Hong Kong has resulted in creative solutions such as cage homes and coffin cubicles to accommodate the population. We can just see the runway coming into sight in the far northeast.
Lion Rock Country Park can be seen in the background, where there are many hiking trails and views across the city and bay. Kowloon Bay is historically an industrial area. Over the last few years, it has undergone transformation into a mixed-use district, focusing on commercial, residential and recreational development. Our speed is now within the arc, and we deploy the first stage of flap, and as our speed reduces, we put in the second stage. And then the last stage of flap. We knock off the autopilot and fly finals manually.
When the airport opened in 1962, due to the surrounding hills, it wasn't possible to line up from the north. Instead, the pilots approached Kowloon from the west. The ILS guided them to the Checkerboard Hill, and then the pilot executed a sharp 47-degree turn to land on runway 13. Checkerboard Hill appears on our left, and the route to the runway is highlighted by landing lights.
Since Kai-Tek's closure in 1998, the former airport site has undergone significant redevelopment and has been transformed into a mixed-use urban area. The area now includes residential, commercial, recreational facilities and a cruise liner terminal. See later picture. Making the turn to line up on the runway centerline, and Kowloon Bay comes into sight. Keeping the numbers of the runway at the same place on the canopy. Knocking the power back as we're coming in a little fast at this stage. It's a very long runway to land a Cessna, so we shouldn't have any issues. A little flare and we're down.
This is a view of the Kai-Tak area today, and I'm sure you will agree it's quite a change. I hope you enjoyed this flight, the ILS approach and the sights we've seen along the way. If you have any feedback or suggestions for future flights, feel free to share them in the comments. Stay tuned for more aviation videos as we explore the world together. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon for notifications. Thank you and take care.